Hello everyone, welcome to Ecopath, and today we are back with one more very important video. And this is basically based on the speech by our governor, Mr. Shaktikanta Das, and he has given a speech which was in Davos, Switzerland. Okay, and this is of great relevance because in this video, like in the speech, he has talked about the various challenges that India has faced and overcome as well, and how the world can do better, how the Indian economy is developing, it's growing, and what are the challenges, but the remedies as well. Now, why is this video important? I'll tell you. Basically, like when you see, right, just give me 1 second. Yeah. When you see that this kind of speeches, the words that they say is very much well accepted by the examiners in the descriptive writing, right? So if you have a question, suppose for 10 marks or 15 marks based on the challenges that India has overcome with, these are the points that you can use, and these can be very beneficial to get good marks in the answer writing, right? So we'll just dive on the main points which you can take from here, and you can make notes and you can deliver if any question is asked, which actually can be asked, because the resilience or the growth that India is showing is massive, right? So the RBI must take the test so that they know that you are well aware of whatever India is achieving and from where it is growing, how it is like developing itself from all the challenges that it has faced before. So let's talk about it. It is gonna be a bit long, but please like be with me and see the video, make notes, and like understand the ideas that the governor is trying to portray over here, right? Perfect. So the governor in the speech has all obviously like it had, he has started with a basic introduction, right? And we will not be indulged. We will not be discussing that. We will discuss the important factors that he has said. Now, what he has said is that the inflation, right, in the global macroeconomic front, like the countries, whatever there is, they're actually getting closer to the inflation targets. As you know that the RBI, okay, the monetary committee, they have the MPC, the monetary policy committee, I'm sorry, they have a target of 4% +2 or -2. It has to be between that, right? Now, the target is being achieved by many of the countries because the macroeconomic situation of the world is getting better, right? That is a very good sign which he has mentioned in this video. And the financial conditions have eased, like the markets are not as tighter anymore, right? They're free, and whatever is there, like the growth is getting better and it is reaching new heights, right? So it's a good thing that all the conjecture of the financial system is getting better, okay, and that is something which is great. And although like in some places, right, that the many of the even many of the developed countries like USA and UK, the global growth has slowed down, right? The geopolitical situation like wars and everything has made the economy suffer a lot, like the worldwide, because everything is interconnected. There are spillovers as well. So this is a problem, but the Indian economy has shown great resilience, and it has like kicked out basically all the challenges in a very controlled and very stabilized manner, which is a good thing, right? Now, whatever he has mentioned is that like there are many challenges. What are they? They are the global growth slowing down, right? This is one thing, and geopolitical situation, and also like supply chain disruption. Like, what is supply chain disruption? So, like when there are wars, right? Suppose the Russia UK war, right? The Russia Ukraine war. 1 second, let me just take it a thinner. Yeah, war, right? Now, if there are wars, then the as soon as the Russian war broke out, the price of the crude oil rose because India used to get a lot of crude oil from Russia. So it was a problem because they were not getting that. So there is a whole supply chain. When COVID happened, the whole system, like the supplies were not getting like the proper direction. So there was disruptions. There were bottlenecks when they were getting stuck. So they were hampering the overall production process globally, right? That is one thing that he has mentioned as a challenge as well, right? And obviously there are some trade practices which are not as good as the benchmark has been set. Also, like the climatic conditions are also causing some problems for the economies to work in the better way, in the most efficient way, right? That is something that he has mentioned as well. Now, whatever he has mentioned is that like the main aspect of any central bank is its macroeconomic and financial stability, right? So the main idea or the main work of any central bank is to maintain or stabilize, like maintain the macroeconomic levels, right? What are the instruments are there, and also maintain financial stability so that the inflation is not high, and the banks are not getting shut down, and overall the financial system is growing in a healthy and nice manner. That is the main idea. That's the main work or the responsibility of any central bank, right? And now in the speech, he has talked a lot about the fintech, right? And the payment ecosystem. So nowadays, as India is growing, the fintech issues are also growing massively, right? And the payments ecosystem is growing a lot. So this is something that you should be knowing. The facts related to this you should be knowing. In this should be knowing, and in this speech also he has mentioned some facts which you can write down and keep it with you and use it if any question comes up. That's how you prepare for an answer, right? Like if you are writing a basic answer about your like the theoretical part, you won't fetch good marks because people are working very hard, so you have to get better than them. That's very important, right? Perfect. Now he has mentioned that the fintech space, like the fintech results and the payment ecosystem that India is doing, they have created a part, they play a massive part in the success of the Indian economy, and they have included innovation and inclusion. If you know that there is a subsidiary by RBI of RBI, RBIH, okay, Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. They have three basic ideas, like three basic objectives. That is innovation, inclusion, and impact, right? So they want to find innovative ways to innovative financial instruments. They want to include more and more people in the financial area, and they want to create an impact on their lives. That is the idea. So he has mentioned these. So if you know the theoretical part, you can obviously apply that over here. But it's a two-way journey, okay, right? Now when he talks about the macroeconomic stability, what he has seen, what he has mentioned is the results of the GDP growth, right? So after clocking like real GDP growth of 7.2% in the financial year 2022-23, the real GDP is expected to grow by 7.3% during this financial year. This is very important because it is being given by the National Statistical Office, NSO, okay, right? And so this has been given by them, and the 7.3% is the real GDP growth that the NSO is saying that it might happen in the year 2023-24, right? Perfect. And India has great domestic demand. They have demand from the other countries as well, and that's why the purchasing power parity of India is also increasing, right? Okay, and the IMF also has projected that India's contribution to world growth will rise from current 16% to 18%. So what is this? Basically, that the world is growing, right? But India has a major share in it of 16%. So if the world is growing by 100%, India now is growing by 16%. So it has a major share of it, right? And the rate should be 18% by 2028. That is what the IMF is mentioning over here, right? Now, obviously, there is a strong domestic demand for the Indian goods and services. That is the main reason for growth. Like, when does an economy boom? When the products and the services are in high demand, okay, like domestically and internationally as well, obviously, right? And there is a significant increase in Indian economy's global integration. In the last few years, you might have seen that India is getting into many bilateral agreements, MOUs with many countries, right? Why are they doing that? Because they want to improve their international relations so that they can improve their trades. One second, I'm very sorry. They can improve their trades, and also they can have a better financial channels, right? And so when they have a high domestic demand, right, what will happen if I have high demand of my goods in my country itself? Then I don't have to depend on the exports, right? So the export is obviously an important part, but if the demand is not much in my country, I have to look to export that, and the that will also have an impact on what that particular country is facing. Suppose in the other countries there is some geopolitical problems going on, so the export of my goods will reduce automatically, right? That will hamper my growth, my business growth. So if I have demand for my goods in my country itself, I don't have to think of the external headwinds, like the problems which happens externally in other countries. This is what he has mentioned as well. And we have emerged from the recent spate of shocks and strong fundamentals. This part is not that much important. Now, this is important that he has mentioned that the monetary policy actions that has been taking place from May 2022 to nowadays, it has caused great recovery of the economy. As you have seen that the RBI has increased the repo rate again and again and didn't decrease it because they wanted to stabilize the economy, because there was too much inflation in the economy that they had to do. Obviously, after the COVID, they had to give money to the uh, people, but later the inflation grew so much they had to cut down that, and they had to increase the repo rate to maintain the economy, to stabilize the economy as well, right? And many things, uh, many initiatives by the government like taxations, banking, ease of doing business, manufacturing, inflation management, digitalization, many things, okay, and infrastructure, everything, they have created a growth potential. Now these all are interconnected, right? Like banking is connected with digital infrastructure, right? And inflation, everything is interconnected. So overall, the initiatives by the government has created a space for the growth of the economy. That is what the governor is trying to explain over here, and that is what is very much important in his speech. Also, he has mentioned that the manufacturing sector is undergoing a shift. Okay, now if you have an idea about the Indian economy, the initial part of India was ruled, or majorly ruled by the agricultural or the primary sector. Later, it shifted to tertiary sector or the service sector. The manufacturing sector didn't boom that much ever, but now the Indian government is trying to give the manufacturing sector a boost, right? By producing the production linked incentives, where they give money to the manufacturers to like produce more and have more productivity in that sector. And also he has mentioned that obviously the service sector, which contributes to the largest share of GDP for India, like the service sector is the king, right, for the GDP of India. It has also added value, not only domestically, also internationally, because of its new technologies, improved delivery, and reach, whatever. Right? These are some facts that he has mentioned, which is of great importance. Now, so what he has mentioned as well is that the disinflation, right? Well, now what is disinflation? It's the opposite of inflation, right? So a steady moderation in CPI core. So what is CPI? It's Consumer Price Index. So this actually replicates the inflation. So he has showed that due to the monetary policy committee's actions, right, of increasing the repo rate and all, the CPI has also decreased and the inflation has also visibly declined. That's a good thing, obviously. And so, what the government has done as well, that the cost push pressures induced by high commodity prices and supply side shock have eased now, right? So, what used to happen is that when the market is in difficulty, right, there are side shocks, right, and there are cost push pressures, like the price goes up because the cost is being pushed and the supply side is not being able to work accordingly. So there is a problem, right? So there is volatility. So that is something that has been like addressed as well, and the government has actually taken various initiatives to take part and ease the manufacturing sector, so that the problems relating to the food and production everything gets down, and they have been successful in that thing as well, right? All these highlighted parts are something that I have done because these are the most important parts of the whole speech as well, right? Now also the stable inflation. Now, why is Indian economy is being so much praised? Because they have the inflation within the limit, right? And this is the bedrock of India's growth ambitions. These phrases that the governor has used, if you can use it while you're writing the answers, you will create an impact. And the examiner will know that you have gone very, very, you have done a very in-depth analysis of this. That is a wonderful thing, and like that is something you should be doing, right? And now he has also mentioned that the CPI inflation will be around 4.5% in this financial year, right? Starting from March, right? And again, it will uh, also the GDP obviously will reach 7% this time. This is his assumptions. And why is he being so much sure about it? Because he has seen a constant growth, developments, and he is very much sure that the growth would be 7% and above for 4 consecutive years. Why is the governor so much sure? Because he is seeing that the challenges that were there has been mitigated, right? And he is seen like prospects. He is seeing potential in growth of the Indian economy. So that's why he is so sure, right? That's a very good sign. When the governor of the country is so much sure, so much positive, that reflects the whole economy, and that's a very good thing actually, right? Very good. Now, when he has talked about the financial stability, he has mentioned that the Indian economy is a stable and efficient financial system as well, because these are the pivotal these are the norms which India has maintained. So now if you write in the answer, what you can use the letter stable and efficient. Okay, perfect. And now the main idea, the main work is to protecting the depositors uh, interest in investing. Obviously, if the depositors, if the people, if the normal people are, they are not investing much, right, what will happen? The capital flow will not increase, and that is a problem. To grow financially, you need more capital, and that is brought by the investor itself. And we have to maintain a sustainable economic growth, right? See, if the economic growth is too massive, it's also not good. There has to be a constant and consistent growth, which is very, very important, right? And as has mentioned, that the banks also had shown great results. They have shown robust earning, strong buffers to in case the NPAs goes like increase, they have buffers which they can use in case of situation of great risk, right? So, or great losses. That's one thing. And also the governance of the banks, NBFCs, and all the institutions have been increased and they are now in control. That is a good thing that RBI has done as well. Now, if you move ahead, right, the governor has talked about the NBFCs. Now, NBFCs obviously have like maybe you have read about it in the chapters that you are reading, okay, and I will be coming up with the PDFs because this is a new channel. I'm trying to gather the current affairs first because so that it goes ahead with this. Also in the PDFs, in the theoretical part, I will be discussing about the NBFC as well. You don't have to worry. And now the NBFC actually is doing very good, and all the stress and the problems that they had have gone, and also they have shown great results. Now let me just dive a bit deep into this. I think it's fine. Let me just, yeah. Now the CRA, the capital to risk weighted asset ratio, which is the instrument for measuring the capital that they have in case of situation of risk and losses. This is very high for the banking system. That is 16.8%. Okay, this is for the commercial banks, right? And the the return to assets have grown as well. And for the NBFC, right, the CRAR is at 27.6%, while the minimum is 15. So in place of 15, they have 27.6%, which is a great news because they are ready in case any problem comes up. That's a good sign for any banking system, that they have like more capital to fight the problems that may rise anytime in the future. That is a good thing, and these are all some other like facts that they have, that the GNPA ratio has declined to 4.3%, okay, from 7.2. That is also a good thing, and the net interest margin stood at 5.1%, and the return on assets 2.8%. That's a good thing. So the GNP ratio for the NBFC has been persistent in 4.3% from 7.2%, which was in December 2021, right? These are some facts that are actually very important, and you can be asked because these are from the reports of RBI, right? Now, the Reserve Bank has applied a judicious mix of micro and macro measures to strengthen financial stability and support growth in the real economy. So, what is this about? So, when a country or an economy grows, right, it is not only one kind of growth is required. It's a mixture. It's a blend of many instruments, many factors. So, like when the micro and macro areas are growing together, that is the growth of the economy. That is the growth and the stability which is assured by the economy. So there has to be a complete growth. That what RBI governor has mentioned over here, right? And these are some steps which you can, obviously you can get the PDF from the RBI website as well, and you can give it a read. You should be giving it a read because these are very important, right? Don't just base on the theoretical part. To be an RBI manager, you need to have something extra. These will give you that, right? I'm trying to make it easier for you. These are something which are very important. Now, one more thing that he has mentioned is that another factor which makes a country stable is the currency. If the currency of a country is not stable, it's appreciating or depreciating like massively, there will be chaos. There will be like less forex reserve, and that will create a problem, which happened actually in case of India in the 1990, before the LPG model was taken, and what happened with Sri Lanka as well. Like when the currency is not working right, when it's going against the economy, it is a very big issue. So he has mentioned that the Indian rupee is a free floating currency, obviously, and like in the recent days, it has shown great resilience, improvements, and also it has shown great significant moderations in the CAD or currency account deficit, right? So it is growing. Overall, the speed that he will, the idea that he will get, that he's saying that everything is recovering, everything is getting better, and the capital flows are also coming in, and India have a good forex reserve, which is a good news as well, right? And also he's saying that if you compare the Indian rupee, right, with past data, that will be not right, because the recent process of improvement is massive. India has shown great results, but if you like consider or compare it with something of very old data, then you won't get the exact idea, right? You should be focusing on right now. You should be focusing on the steps that the RBI is taking right now to get a better idea. That is what he's mentioning, right? Like he is basically saying past is past, and these are some ideas. Also, he has mentioned that the domestic macroeconomic and systemic risk in India have declined, and the improving balance sheets of financial institutions, together with prudent policies of the regulators, have strengthened the resilience of the financial system. What does this mean? That the risk which was involved in the macroeconomic sector within the country have declined because the balance sheets, what has happened, the assets have improved and the liabilities has decreased, the NPS has reduced, so the balance sheets and the overall risk has reduced because appropriate measures have been taken, and this has created a strong and resilient financial system. Okay, these words are very effective: resilient, strong, um, then whatever, right? They are very important. So like you should be mentioning this. Just give it a read, and I hope this will be fine, right? And also, he has mentioned that the fintech system now has developed tremendously, and because they do provide faster, cheaper, and efficient and accessible resources, right? Mainly the UPI, if you say. And also, India is the third largest fintech ecosystem in the world if you consider the fintech entities involved, right? And the adoption rate of fintech in India is 87%, which is well above the global average, which is the 67%. So what is this? Like the people in India have, like who have the opportunity, they have taken the fintech up to 87%. So people have high considerability of the fintech, whereas the global average is only 67%. Not only, but compared to Indian thing. And the fintech market is projected to reach what? 150 billion USD. So 150 billion, right? USD is something what the Indian fintech market is gonna be reaching by 2025. That is what that the people involved in the fintech transactions will be this. And but it was only 50 billion in 2021. So it is a great jump from here to here. That's a wonderful thing. I feel there's something which is actually a very good news as well. Right? One second. All right. Now the jam trinity. I don't think this is important, but because it is given over here, you might be asked somewhere in the interview as well. What is the jam trinity? So jam trinity means J for Jandhan, right? Jandhan Yojana, and A for Aadhaar, and M for mobile phone numbers. These three are very much important aspects of the fintech system because these three have interconnectedness, right? And they have helped in financial inclusion, digitization of financial services, and overall service delivery. Now, see, the Jandhan system, the Jandhan Yojana is giving bank accounts for all at a very at zero minimum balance thing, and they are connecting that with Aadhaar. So whatever benefits you can get from the schemes that the government is releasing or the financial systems, you can get directly in these accounts. That is something which is very much appreciated as well. And the UPI obviously is a game changer, and he has praised the UPI system a lot. I won't be diving much in the UPI system because you have obviously had a good idea about it. Obviously, it is helping in greater financial inclusion, right? And this can come that UPI. What is UPI One World? UPI One World is basically when any foreigner comes to India, they can avail the benefit of the UPI system, which is not available maybe in their countries. So they can, like the time span they are staying in India, they can avail the benefit of UPI. That is the idea of UPI One World. And also Singapore has taken the concept of UPI from India, and they have an application. Like the pay now, which is very much similar to the UPI, and they have taken and they are in practice of this as well. And also India is in talks with many countries so that they can take the model of UPI and apply it, because it has shown great results and is one of the most important digital payment instruments available globally. Okay, and has benefited the Indians a lot, right? And he has also given a fact that there are 485 million digital payments that is happening every day. Obviously it's going to be increasing, because if you see the digital payment index, right, it was 100 in the base year, now it's about 365, right? So a massive multifold increase have been seen, which is great, and that's a point that you can obviously add as well. Also he has mentioned that the RBI is testing various frameworks through the innovative regulatory sandbox. Now what is a sandbox? Like, we suppose RBI has launched a financial instrument or a financial system, whatever, right? They test that within a controlled environment. Suppose they test the whole thing within an area or within some people, so that they have an idea if this is going to work or not. This is the concept of sandbox, like regulatory sandbox, right? And one of the main thing that he has added is UPI 123 pay, which actually enables offline UPI payments as well via some number that you put. And this is a this is I have highlighted to let you know that if anyone asks you what is the global hackathon that RBI conducts and organizes, that is Harbinger. Okay, and that is something which is very much important as well. Now he has also mentioned that the central bank digital currency, the e-rupee, that is in news a lot these days, this is gonna be like taken by more and more people right now. Like, there are 4 million customers who are in use of this, and this will enhance the digital transactions, and this will be very much beneficial in the areas where there is no much internet uh, available. And I'm sorry, like the digital payment index has been, it's 395.6, okay, not 350, I'm sorry. And also the fintech system is customer centric, and it's so much great because it ensures effective oversight, ethical conduct, risk management, and encouraging self-regulations, right? These are some points. So effective oversight, ethical conduct, risk management, and encouraging self-regulation, right? So effective oversight, ethical conduct, risk management, self-regulation, right? And what he has mentioned in the conclusion, that the global economy needs some coordinated actions. Like, one country cannot do the best for the world. There has to be a coordination among the financial institutions, the banks, the central banks of all the countries, and they need to come together to make it better. Right? There are some problems, but he is confident that Indian prospects are very good and they have great potential to increase and to rise, right? And all stakeholders should come together to make this better, and they should support the journey of the growth process of the finances globally. This is what he has mentioned, and like, I believe that this is enough. And if you can make a gist out of it, if you have made notes while I was talking, while you were watching this, I think this is enough to write a very good answer in points, in brief, and you can make great, you can fetch good marks if a question comes like this. I hope it has helped. Please write down in the comments if you have any question, and also do subscribe to the channel, because it's a new channel I'm trying to grow, and I hope this will help you a lot as well. So till the time we meet again, take care, keep revising, and see you again in the next video. Thank you so much.